9 a.m. First of all, do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. The agenda, look for approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Also, I guess too, do we have any of the other Commissioner Marsh or Commissioner White on the line?
Good morning.
Who we got on the line?
Bernie?
Sounded like
Bernie or Corey, are you in line?
Bernie or Corey? Is that Bernie on the line?
Yeah, this is Bernie, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. We have absent and one commissioner, there's Corey White then. Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda then.
so moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. First item on the agenda is the planning and zoning floodplain ordinance amendment. Mr. Josephson.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Franchuk. Steve Josephson, Planning and Zoning Director. If you remember back in July, you had approved some changes to the zoning ordinance regarding the floodplain management ordinance, and this was triggered because there are new floodplain maps coming into effect in Stark County. And you know, both the state water department and FEMA reviewed our current regs and said there's some things you need to update there. So that went forward. You approved that back in July. We sent it. We had sent it back, you know, to the state and again, and they and FEMA reviewed it and asked that the county add in 2 more sections into it. And one of them has to do with enclosures for structures that are built in floodplains. And then the other one is, if your map doesn't designate a floodway, which ours don't, we have an A zone on ours, but we don't designate a floodway. The floodplain being the area that if there's a flood spills over, the floodway being like a river or stream or whatever. It's just basically saying that a person that a person can't build in the A zone unless they get a floodplain management permit, which we require, you know, which is required anyway. And then the third comment was there was a reference in here to floodproofing using an Army Corps of Engineering manual. And the comment we got back was that that FEMA already has a number of guidance manuals, guidance for you know, for floodproofing, and it's just better to not make it so specific. So anyway, I'm here requesting that you readopt these amendments to the zoning ordinance to include the changes that are highlighted in yellow. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Josephson on the changes or additions?
So my only question, Steve, would be, on some of these, we're renewing previous provisions prior to the change in the flood maps or proposal, or are these over and above that?
The ones that are the new ones?
Yeah, the
Well,
ones
there are
in yellow.
additional ones that FEMA said we need to have them in there because they're part of their regulations.
Okay.
So it doesn't really change anything. It's just recognize, you know, the county participates in the National Flood Insurance Program. So these are not a more restrictive. It would be required anyway. They just want it reflected in our ordinance.
Okay, and so some of them in yellow are strikeouts versus additional language, correct?
Yes. And that, I think the strikeout parts were if I'm recalling it, referenced, that was the reference to the Army Corps of Engineering manual. And they said, don't make it so specific.
Any other questions? Not, then I'll look for a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the proposed amendments to Article 2, Rules and Definitions, Article 3, General Provisions, and Article 5, Zoning District Regulations of the Stark County Zoning Ordinance.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
I have a second. Any other discussion? Not, then we'll go roll call. Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Masser,
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh,
Aye.
Commissioner White. Commissioner White must be absent, then the chair votes aye, motion carries.
Thank you. After the order is signed by the chairman, we'll get this stuff to the water department. But they had indicated in a previous email that adopting this would satisfy their concerns. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the 2024 general election polling locations.
Okay.
And you're gonna handle that?
So these are the election polling locations and times and also dates that I've established for the general election. We are actually adding one polling location. So we will be using the Dakota room that we used in the primary, but we're also going to be using the BAC. And we got a spot back at the mall. So we're going to use all three, plus our Belfield and our Richardson location for Election Day. And then early voting will be at the mall the week prior. So I just need approval from the commission for these polling locations and hours, or if you had any questions, please ask them.
So just to clarify, early voting would only be at the mall, or can they, I know you have it here, absentee is the only courthouse option. And so, and the early voting is, the only option is the mall, correct?
Yes, if they're going to early vote, it'd be the mall.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adopt and approve the general election polling location and hours as recommended by the election officer, our auditor.
Okay, I have a motion, to have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Is Corey on the line now?
Yeah.
Was that two ayes?
Commissioner White, are you on the line?
No, I said aye twice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Just,
okay, thanks.
thanks, Bernie.
Okay. Next on the agenda is a special beer and liquor permit for the, I guess for August 31st at the fairgrounds for Final Bar and Lounge.
Yep, so they just want to sell beer and liquor at an event at the fairgrounds. They were asked kind of late to do this, and just looking for the approval, since it's beer and liquor, from the commission.
Just for the one day, the 31st you're looking at, right?
Yep, they already have the county stuff in order, so this is just the permit part. They have their county license and their state license, so.
Okay. Any questions? If not, I'll look for a motion then.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the state license, when you put it in the state license, you have to give her, it's that, I guess that's his problem, not our problem. I think we should still approve it, I guess. So that's just a question that I had.
You have to do what, Bernie?
Okay, when we get our state license, we have to give her all the dates that we're going to use it for. So now at this point, he would have to get a hold of her and add that date, which I don't know if there's an extra fee to it or anything like that. But, and it's not really our problem at that point. If we approve it, we approve it. It's up to him to comply with the state, so.
Yep, so once, if you guys choose to approve it, then, because he already has the county, he has the county, state, he has the city,
Right.
state one.
Right.
So once you approve it, then it just gets sent into the state, and then the state basically knows about it.
Okay, that's
Yep.
fine.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, look for a motion then.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the application of Final Bar and Lounge to sell liquor, beer and liquor at the Stark County Fairgrounds on August 31st.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second. All in favor, state aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. And concludes our agenda then.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, a
Second.
motion to a second. All in favor, state aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carried.